What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks, presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't already checked it out, just making bad life choices, go on over to scoresandodds.com. Get signed up where you got picks from me, Meansy, Daniel Chevelson, Analytics Capper, all the greats over there. Plus, you get access to this nice little prop shopping tool where you can see exactly what RG projects and where the best line is. Like Tyler Hero, we can see is projected for 15.99 points. The over-under is 15.5. The best line is minus 112 over at FanDuel. Plus, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge. That's Grant's Action Lounge, where I'm dropping in all the bets you see on this show every single day. This morning, entirely mediocre. Two are probably going to hit. Two are probably going to miss. That's pretty much it. Baseball has been mediocre for me at best. Actually, no, it's just downright dreadful. But I made so much money on NBA and hockey that it really just does not matter. Still doing well. We're actually, I think, still down 1 unit this month, pretty much even since the beginning of April, but up 30 units overall on this show. In the Discord, probably up more than that. So yeah, not going too badly. I'm joined by someone who thinks I'm the worst Grant on earth, Daniel Chevelson. How you doing over there, my enemy?
Oh, man. Well, yeah, we did the Grant William Power Rankings a few weeks ago or so. No, actually, less than a week ago when he had a big game, big game 7 against Milwaukee. And come on, Grant, I had to. Like, we have this sort of love-hate on-air thing, and, like, who else is a worse? I had no other choice, and I think I even DM'd you, and, I had to. I had no other choice, and you're like, I think your response was like, meh. Like, you didn't have no interest in even combating it. Just like, yeah. I don't know if that was you saying I'm a big jerk. But I was put in a corner. There's not a lot of Grants.
I mean, you forgot, I think, Cary Grant, Amy Grant.
They were on the list. They were ahead of you.
Yeah, well, classic. Let's see. I'm looking up famous Grants right now.
Ulysses
Richard Grant, Madison Grant. I think he invented something.
Who's
Jane Grant? Michael Grant, the author. Alan Grant, the writer.
Don't pretend like you know. You don't know what did Alan Grant write?
You know I don't read. I think you wrote Doom.
But you're saying it as if like you know. Oh yeah, well of course we all know Michael Grant, the writer. I don't know what that is. I might not.
Alan Grant from Jurassic Park.
Somebody was angry at me for not adding the doctor character. I've never seen Jurassic Park start to finish. Yeah, I feel like I probably should have seen that at some point. I will say, I was a teacher back in the day. You're aware of that, right?
Yes. You passed the background check, I have no idea.
Well, it was in Florida, so they round up in Florida.
Oh,
yeah.
So you graduate high school? Yeah. All right. You're a teacher.
You're teaching the advanced class. So one of the days when I was a substitute, I was to show the movie Jurassic Park, right? And I didn't see the entire movie. You know why I didn't see the entire movie? I fell asleep. I was the teacher. Fell asleep.
You.
Yeah, very professional, man.
Yeah, that's one way I would describe you as professional. That's what people would describe me as professional, right?
I think so. By the way, I pulled up my list. Grant Williams was number 1, of course. Grant Hill. How do you forget Grant Hill? The Grant brothers. There was Horace and Harvey Grant. Horace, of course, with the goggles back with the Bulls back in the days. Brian Grant, former Portland Blazer, Miami Heat. Shout out to the Heat. Grant Fuhr was a goalie for the Blues. Oh, Grant Show was on Melrose Place. a guilty pleasure of some 20 years ago or so. But I suppose the people didn't tune in to hear Grant Power Rankings.
Well, let's talk about Grant Williams. We will talk about Grant Williams because I have some bets there. But we'll just start off with hockey that I am going to try and pronounce these names. Hockey's gone very well for me. Just literally looking at offshore lines, finding the drastic differences, betting. I'm actually limited on almost every site for hockey now, which is just fun. I mean, I'm not surprised because every single line moves pretty drastically short period of time after I bet them. So get in Grant's Action Lounge and you get them right away. But Ryan O'Reilly, over 2.5 shots on goal. You like it?
I don't have a take. I'm pretty sure he's a Blue. I think he plays for St. Louis.
You might be right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nazim Kadari, over 3.5 shots on goal.
Okay. Sounds great.
Alexander Borkov, under
No, it's
0.5
Barkov.
assists.
Say it right. Put some respect on the
Barkov.
Florida Panthers.
Barkov,
Yeah, Barkov. You like him?
under 0.5 assists, so I don't like him.
What under 0.5 assists? What do you have to lay for that?
Plus 130 odds.
Wait, so you're getting if he doesn't get an assist? Okay. I mean, like, what are the Panthers projected to score? Like 3 goals? They're basically saying one of those 3, more likely than not, is going to be assisted by Barkov.
Yes, that's exactly what they're saying. Yeah, it looks like they're Panthers are projected closer to 3.5 goals, probably.
Well, is it 6.5 total? I know it's a big total in that game.
Yeah, 6.5 total, minus 160 on the Panthers. Your Florida Panthers or your Tampa Bay Lightning. No matter what, you're coming out.
No, I'm not a Lightning fan. I don't want to pretend. I was at a game a couple years ago in Tampa, but yeah, Grant, if I wanted to, I'm not saying I am, but if I wanted to, I could actually walk to the Panther Arena from where I'm at right now. It's not. I mean, it's like 2-ish miles away, probably. Again, I'm not going to, but I could, in theory.
Oh, we're bragging now. If I wanted to, in my old house, I have walked to Coors Field, and I can walk to the ball arena. But
that wasn't a brag. That was me just saying, like, I'm a Panther fan. It's right around, like, the arena's right around the corner.
Oh, I have scooted to Coors Field, to Ball Arena, and to Mile High.
Is Ball Arena the name of the Nuggets arena?
Yep. And
Ball Arena?
Yeah, I'm probably going to Game 5 for the Avalanche.
Oh man, yeah. Well, it's interesting. I'm seeking out the schedule makers that did South Florida some wonders by putting the Heat and the Panthers on, the same every single whenever they play. Either they're both playing or nobody's playing, and the home games are the same as well too because they're both the favorite team, so they're both hosting 1 and 2. So I may go to either the Panthers in Game 5 or the Heat in Game 5. So there you go. That'll be fun.
Nice. Yeah.
If there is a Game 5 for the Panthers, geez.
Yeah, if there is a Game 5 for the Avalanche, they might sweep them.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, well, I have like $600-$700 on them to win like $2,000.
I remember it was what's his name is the one that kind of talked you into doing it.
Alex Capper.
Yeah, like you're just talking to him on air, and he's like, yeah, the Colorado's a good team, and like the West. My understanding is the West is an easier path.
Yeah.
So obviously hockey, anybody can be anybody. Goalie stands on his head, yada yada. We almost saw that at Dallas. If you're watching the Dallas Calgary series at all, that was pretty interesting. I mean, I'll just as a neutral fan, as an independent fan, I love watching like Game 7 or any game overtime. Any given moment, it's heartbreak or like excitement. It's wild stuff.
Yeah, I remember last Avalanche game I went to overtime. I'm like, F it. Just won the over. Might as well put some money on the Avalanche to win. And then like 5 seconds later, goal. Darn it.
Yeah.
But we got
there's not a lot of sports today. I think it's worth pointing out. Like that's
I have no baseball bets right now. I have none. I all mine were morning bets, and I'll win a small amount of money. But yeah,
you got a White Sox KC bet because there's 2 minutes till that game starts.
I don't. I did double stack that in DFS. But
yeah, so there's an extreme hitters umpire in that game, and it's a bad ballpark for hitting baseballs, especially homers. But it's great weather-wise, compared to other times there. If you fire,
you can go Jose Abreu under 1.5 total bases, minus or plus 102 at Bet Rivers. That's really it. That's not a huge positive ROI. It's still positive ROI, but it's not big.
Is there anything interesting as far as the positive side? Because obviously baseball, no matter how bad the pitcher is, no matter how good the hitter is, like most likely scenario is like they're going to get the hitter out. That's just how that goes. But what about like anything for Tim Anderson that's interesting? I like the White Sox side like everybody else does. That's up to 10. By the way, that total in that game has jumped to 10. And the team total for Chicago projected is 5.3.
Yeah, it's a big one. I'm going to check to see how.
Carlos Hernandez has just been a disaster. Basically one of the worst pitchers in all baseball this year. I mean, we don't focus on ERA, but I believe his ERA is over 9 in like, a decent amount of innings. Too many.
Let's look at his what's it called? His xFIP is
Yeah.
not too much better if I remember. Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
His xFIP is 7.
Correct.
He has a higher walk rate than K rate.
Correct. 11 to 10 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So like,
bad.
you know, I like that Chicago side.
Yeezy asking, do I have any golf bets? I bet Scheffler to win because of a promo.
I think it's Scheffler, by the way, isn't it? Or no? Am I wrong?
Yeah, sorry. I always get Scheffler and Scheffler.
I'm not a golf guy, so I could be wrong, but I feel like it's Scheffler.
Yeah, I think you're right. But let's talk about some basketball. So the Celtics are saying at plus 140 on Caesars and I think PlayUp.
I like that bet. As a Heat fan, I like that bet.
Yeah, it's just so bad. Like I put it, and I wonder if it's still sitting at plus 140. If it's still sitting at plus 140, yeah, it moved to plus 130 now. I still like it at plus 130. I mean, I think Boston wins this one. I hope Boston wins the series. I know you're a Heat fan, but
yeah, you have financial reasons to believe that. Well, what do you have? Talk about that, by the way. You have time, and you kind of threw it out on Twitter the other day, and like you didn't really get the whole picture because you were talking about having Dallas. I guess free bets on Dallas, and I'm like, well, why not hedge? And like, well, the reason why you're not hedging is because you have bets on Golden State as well. So like, yeah. You're
so I can just pull up some of the bets. Since Bet Rivers basically banned me, I don't really care about them anymore. So like, I just use Bet Rivers. Yeah, Bet Rivers, but then I went over to Barstool, and Barstool cut me off. But yeah, like I use all my free bets for futures. So like I have Dallas at 40 to 1, 1,500 or 150 to pay 6K. Dallas at 40 to 1, 30 to pay 1,200. I have Miami at 10 to 1, 100 to pay 1,000. Miami again, 150 to 1 or 10 to 1, 150 to pay 1,500. And then on other sites, I have Golden State and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's hard to do with baseball because, I mean, baseball generally is just inefficient, or they generally take a bigger hold on a lot of their bets. But, I mean, the easiest way to do things, you can see up on the screen here, free bets. Like, you get a free bet at MGM. All right, go with the Brewers at plus 1,200. Go with the Rays at plus 2,000. Go with the Phillies at plus 3,000. That's where they have the best lines there. If I was going to throw a line, if I got a free bet over at Caesars, I'd go with the Dodgers or the Yankees. The Braves have the biggest, best.
The Yankees. What are the Yankees? They're probably big favorites, aren't they?
650. But I mean, I'm spreading them out like throughout. Like so, I mean, more than likely, I'd probably go with the Braves would be my go-to bet because they're saying at plus 1,600. If I had a free bet on FanDuel, I mean, you can go Mets, Astros, Blue Jays, Brewers, but the biggest discrepancy is the Padres at plus 1,800 when they're plus 1,600, 1,500 at other spots. At PointsBet, I would go with any one of these. Like, you can just look at this and figure out, all right, which one do I want to go with? My favorite thing, too, is more Cy Young. I have a decent amount of money on Nola already at 30 to 1, just because, yeah, it's 31 seems way too big of odds. I think I got him at 41 when I bet it. But yeah, you just kind of look at where the best Cy Young odds are at, and then K-Freak, for the NHL bets you mentioned, you follow offshore books and then bet ones with the biggest differences, just looking for value. So you can basically figure out. So let's say this. I'll take a basketball bet, for instance. Jaylen Brown over at Pinnacle is sitting at minus 116 on the over for over 2.5 3-pointers, minus 115 on the under. So this one's an easier one to calculate. The break-even point's like on the under is plus 100.4. So if you could get him at plus 105, that's we'll just say minus 115 because that's what it is most of the time. If you get it plus 105, your essential value on that is an expected 2.5 ROI if you assume their line's perfect, which Pinnacle is about as close to perfect as it can be. Let's see. I'll bring up one of the bets that I bet today. Pinnacle Sportsbook. Let's open it up. Markov. Let's see. He plays for Tampa Bay. So we go over to
for Florida.
He's playing against Tampa Bay. So
I'm sorry.
He's in that game. That much I know. So let's see. Player props. So Barkov minus 137 on the over, plus 102 on the under. So the break even line is 116.77. On the under, it'll be plus 116.77. So right now the line is currently at plus 130 over at Caesars, meaning there's a projected, assuming that Pinnacle is perfect, there's a projected 6.1% ROI on that bet. Does that make sense? Did I explain that well?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's just looking at drastic disparities. Pretty much anytime I can find a bet where there's a line like this one, minus 137 on the over, where the underline is similar on the so plus 130. That's a huge difference. So he's talking about goes between Bovada and DK. There seems to be a big difference in some lines. Also realize trying to bet some props you mentioned, sometimes there's like a 30 or 40 cents different. Yeah, so that's another big thing. Bovada, I don't know how sharp Bovada is. I know Pinnacle is by far the sharpest sportsbook out there. Like that's my go-to, like Bet Online, Bet8.ag. Like there's a few other ones, but Pinnacle is my go-to. Unless I have more time, then I'll look at other ones or I'll cross-reference it with other ones to see. So Pinnacle is by far the best one to look at to try and figure out what there is. And yeah, there can also be 30 to 40 cents in difference. Like we can just look at some of these. Let's see, props. So let's find what steals and blocks. You'll see bigger differences, but I'm trying to find. So you create synthetic lines like DraftKings, Jimmy Butler over 5.5 assists, under 5.5 assists. There is actually only 10 points of juice in the synthetic line because it's minus 110 over at DK, even money on the under over at FanDuel. It's even less on Tyler Hero, where it's minus 145 on MGM and plus 138 on FanDuel. There's a reason why props are so easy to beat, because you can create synthetic lines that are essentially no juice sometimes. Trying to find one. It's a little bit tougher in the playoffs when there's so much money going in. It's a lot easier on other days. Let's see if I have another tool where I can check out arbitrage lines. So technically, Stanford Baseball, you can, this is ridiculous. You can get a 5%. This can't be right. Let's see if this is actually true. Baseball. Let's see. It's tough to find, like especially on these little ones. You're only going to get a small. In any case, Stanford money line is for Stanford minus 105 over at Bet Rivers. USC, who they're facing, is plus 260 over at DK. Now that's probably going to be gone like that. It's already gone.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's somewhat like there's literally tools out there that I use that find those and you immediately just hammer them.
Yeah.
Like I did that for a while and it got me banned from some sites. So probably wasn't worth it, but it got me a huge limit on the other side. So it's like, you keep losing money. Yeah, we'll keep giving money.
Yeah.
Adding Pinnacle to my list using offshore sportsbooks, things like Prize Picks and Underdog made me quite a bit of money because prop apps don't shift line. Yeah. So the biggest thing, if you're on Prize Picks, if you're on Underdog, if you're on all those sites, you can find massive disparities. Like you can find lines that rebound assist lines that are sitting at like minus 180 over at Pinnacle. And you can get it just even money pretty much on Prize Picks, which is enough to offset the large amount of juice. But we should probably get to basketball bets again. Marcus Smart over 3.5 rebounds, plus 130 over at Caesars. We have him projected for 3.7, I believe. Let's see, rebounds.
I mean, he's dealing with a real injury. It's worth noting, like, obviously he's probable tonight. Horford upgraded to questionable.
Well, what's his name? White's out, so they're going to give.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just don't know how much if he can
Horford got upgraded to questionable. That's not great for me.
It's yeah. To me, like, look, I don't know. I would guess now he's gonna play, but we'll see.
A lot of my I guess it's good for one of my Grant Williams lines and bad for the other one. I have Grant Williams over 1.5 blocks plus steals. Plus 150 over at Caesars. We have projected for 1.8. He's hit it in 2 of the last 3. I was assuming Horford wasn't going to play. which means he should play 36 minutes. If Horford plays, he still might play close to 30. And then I have the under of 1.5 3-pointers made. So the main reason that line's so high is you can look at it right here. 7 in game 7 of the playoffs. He had 7 3-pointers. Outside of that, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1 in the last 6 games. So the line is just drastically skewed because of that. So I got the under at plus 110 odds. Only 2 attempts in the last game. 1 in the game before, in game 6, 2 in game 5, 5 and 6 in the ones before that. But 1.5 is getting plus odds on the under. I'll take that every single time.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big outlier, obviously.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want Horford. If you have the over, you want Horford not to play.
Yeah. But that's basically it for my bets. Again, not a ton. Most of mine already started. Do you want to look at some future bets?
I was just saying before, I just thought kind of keep an eye on the Wrigley game, which is sort of weird. And I think the line has moved up now to 9 as far as the team total. We're expecting 15-mile-per-hour winds, and if you look at the weather edge tool, like home runs, it spiked 50% increase. Similar games now. It is Zach Gallen, a pretty good pitcher, fly ball guy, and not great offenses either. Arizona and Chicago, and Stroman coming back from injury historically is a pretty good ground ball guy. So maybe that's what's pushing down the total. But we've seen Wrigley totals before, and again, better offenses.
And better wind conditions. It's 13. It really starts to make a difference at 15 miles an hour. So you'll see a huge total at 20. Like it goes up exponentially after about 15. So like each additional 1 mile per hour wind will raise it like 0.25 points. So a total of 9.5 at 15 miles an hour will go up to 10 at 17, probably 10.5 at 19, 11 at 21, and so on and so forth. So it makes a pretty drastic difference. And obviously there's other things that go into account, like ground ball pitcher or fly ball pitchers make huge differences. That's why the Cubs are a big favorite. Gallen's been the better pitcher so far this season, but Stroman not going to be affected nearly as much by the wind.
The Cubs are a big favorite?
They're a decent favorite. They're minus 138, I think.
I see minus 128 on the RG.
Minus 128. All right. So,
but yeah, even that's coming. Zach Gallen's been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. I know he's doing it in Arizona. Nobody's paying attention, but he's been awesome for what it's
worth. But yeah, the reason why he's a dog here is partially because the Cubs' bats may be slightly better, but mostly it's because he's more of a fly ball pitcher than Stroman. So that's where it makes a big difference.
And I just wanted to shout out, we were talking about a pre-show.
Again, so one of the easiest ways to make money prop betting, if you don't know what you're doing that much, is what K-Freak's talking about right here. So you can cross-reference offshore sportsbooks, the sharper ones, and then also check to see if the bat agrees, RG projections agree. If you just do that and you're patient, and anytime all 3 of those agree, you hit the bet, you're going to have close to at least probably a 7% ROI. Like I still reference the bat. I still reference offshore a ton. I still do all that stuff because it can be very, very profitable to do that. Like I'll get my bets in there all on my own, and then I'll get tipped off to somebody offshore, tipped off to someone by the bat, and I use my own knowledge most of the time going through things, trying to figure out what are good bets or not. But like the biggest tip-offs for me is before I even dig into research, I look at projections and offshore to see what bets they like so that I can dig into those. So I rarely ever go against them. There are some that the bat may not like and offshore may not like, and like both of these are just wrong.
I don't like disagreeing with the bat, but I do on occasion. Like I don't like doing it, but like you said, sometimes you say, I know better. Yeah. Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. Results-based stuff. Hey, by the way, you were talking before the show about Montgomery. What did you have him at as far as how many outs does he need? 15.5?
Over 15.5, and
he's got a shot. He might come out.
Oh, did they pull Zimmerman?
Zimmerman got pulled.
So I had Zimmerman under 15.5, and
he's done.
Yeah, well, he started the inning and gave up a single and gave up a single and then got pulled. I thought that one was done. All right, so I won money today. That's neat.
So that was a winner, and I think you're live for Montgomery. He's only at 76 pitches. He was really efficient in the 5th.
Yeah.
Maybe they bring him out for the, he's just got to get one out for you. Maybe they bring him out in the, typically they'll let him go 80-ish, low 80s. So, you might get another winner. 2 winners you didn't think you had coming into the show.
2 winners that I thought would be losers. One more bet I forgot to mention. If you're over on Caesars, I just put these up anytime, every Thursday, to get a Luplow to get a home run. You can get it boosted 25%. That's my favorite one over on Caesars is Luplow to hit a home run. With it boosted, it's at plus 588, which I think is solid overall odds.
Is that a good number?
Yeah.
All right. What are the other ones in that game? Anything? I know I saw Wisdom at like plus 260, and I'm like, that's like get out of town. I know he's a power guy, but I'm not betting most anybody at plus 260.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll check out, and it'll be to go to the prop shopping tool. So the nice thing is you can see all the best lines here. Wisdom's at plus 245.
Jeez.
Christian Walker's at plus 290. I mean, I'd more lean on Ian Happ's plus 430. I don't hate that one.
I think that's a better one than the R2. Like he's a big
Wendell is at plus 440. RG projections don't like that. Let's see. There's a massive difference in RG projections to Hedges is our biggest difference apparently, which I'm not surprised by that. It's plus 1100.
So what's funny about that? We were talking about it on the DFS show earlier today. I don't think you're a big BBP guy. You speak for yourself, but Hedges is like 2 for 6 with 2 home runs versus. But wait, that game's already started for what it's worth. I'm guessing he hasn't homered yet. But he had some BBP today. I don't think that factors in to RG projections, but we just had a conversation. We were kind of laughing about it earlier.
Yeah. Do you want to go over some futures for MLB?
Yeah, go for it.
So I mean, can you see the screen very well here?
I didn't have it up, but like, what are we looking at?
Yeah, it looks like we're on the way. I'm going to move you over there to the side. So I think the White Sox at plus 1900 seems interesting.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I think the Brewers plus 1200 seems a little interesting.
I mean, they got pitching.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like they have 3 incredible pitchers. That in the playoffs is great. I don't know if I don't like the Dodgers plus 475.
Well, here's the thing. If you like the Dodgers at plus 475, you probably can wait until like the last month of the season and get the Dodgers at like plus 450, right? Basically, what's the point? Like you're not, I don't, they're great, but it's baseball and I don't, how much.
Last year when they were in the play-in game, they were sitting at plus 450.
Say it again?
Last year when they were in, like once they were already in the play-in game, they were sitting at plus 450.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
There's no value in that line.
Yeah. Let's see. I kind of like the Angels at plus 2200.
The problem with the Angels, they can't pitch.
So they have Ohtani.
Yeah.
They have Thor.
Yeah, but is that Thor though? It's like Thor. Well, what's the part in the Thor movie where he lost his powers? Where he's like he's still kind of like making do. He's not Thor anymore.
Why am I forgetting the other? I mean, obviously there's Detmers.
Yeah, I mean Detmers is fine, but like let's not lose ourselves because he threw a no-hitter with like 2 strikeouts or something like that. I know he's a prospect in their organization, and they'll probably, assuming things are going well, like Moreno, their owner, will spend money, so they'll probably get somebody.
They can trade for someone at the deadline.
Yeah,
like last year they had no point in doing it because they were out and Trout was out. Mm-hmm. But like if Ohtani and Trout and Rendon and what's his name, Wade stay healthy, like they have a great hitting lineup. Ohtani's a good pitcher. They get one more good one in there, like Thor, Ohtani, and I don't know who could be traded away at some point. I don't even know right now.
Michael Lorenzen. Like I'm looking at their rotation.
Yeah, you don't need depth. Like they could get Alcantara.
Oh, from the Marlins?
Yeah.
Wait, is he in the block?
Well, I assume Marlins aren't going to be in it, and they're always willing to ship off people.
They are, but I don't know his contract situation, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other one. Like Phillies at plus 3,000 seems a little bit off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the deal with Harper's elbow is or the UCL. Like he's been smashing the ball, he's been hitting the ball well, but I think he doesn't have a UCL and he hasn't played the last 2 days, and he's just been DHing, and like I figure, okay, I guess it's not a big deal. He's hit the ball fine, but maybe there's something more to that. Maybe that's something.
Am I too much of a homer to get 80-1 on the Mariners?
Yeah.
I mean, they got decent bats. They got an all right bullpen, but they do have.
I like Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert, Ray, and after that, it's not really.
They probably have a decent shot. I don't know the records, but in my head, I feel like they got a shot to like making at least the play-in nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, the play-in nonsense is a lot of teams. They're currently under 500. But like, I'm trying to look who else.
I mean, they already talk about Boston being sellers. Like, I'm not, let's not. This stuff can get turned around. It's not even. We're not even at the quarter pole just yet.
I mean, Boston, I think, offers some value at 66-1.
I wonder what they were at the beginning of the year. Do you happen to have that? Because I'm sure it was distinctly different.
I think it was like 12-1.
I like Toronto at the start of the season, but like Barrios has looked like trash. I love God, what's his name? The big boy, Manoah. I mean, that guy is horse. Future Cy Young winner. Maybe even this year. I like Manoah. I like him a good bit.
Let's look at Cy Young.
Been insane.
You want to look at AL or NL?
What are you pulling up? Cy Young?
Yeah.
I mean, AL is like not great. I think most of the good pitchers are in the National League.
Gausman?
Yeah, he was rough yesterday by his standards. I think he had more walks yesterday than he had the entire season. Or the same
he was saying it 2 walks before yesterday.
Yeah, I think he had 2. I was watching the game. I think he had at least 2 yesterday.
Yeah. Let's see. Cortez at +6. Like Verlander is the odds-on favorite, followed by Gausman, Cole, like the main guys we know, and then Ohtani just because everyone loves him. I don't think he'll win. I'm trying to look at. I mean, Joe Ryan. He's been a little bit worse lately. Robbie Ray at 70-1 if he can pull things together. I doubt it, but
I mean, I think I don't. He's not going to put up the year he put up last year. I just can't. Last year he was, very lucky.
Yeah, I don't see any long shots winning the AL Cy Young with like Gausman, Cole, or Verlander. Maybe Cease are going to win it. Maybe Noah.
Who can come out of nowhere and win this?
The longest shot I see is Cortez.
Well, it's funny because I was telling you this pre-show, and like I was going to even slide in your DMs, and like because he was 25-1 while he was spinning a gem his last time out, and nobody believes like he's a former Marlin, by the way, former a couple things just kind of thrown away, but he's been incredible this year, and I don't know if he's going to keep this up, but probably if they voted today, it's probably Nestor Cortez is the Cy Young winner. I know it doesn't work that way, but he's currently got the best resume. I think maybe Verlander's right there too. He's also a Yankee in a huge market, which helps. Cole's the clear name, and he's good also. But I'm just trying to see like who else could it possibly be. But I just when it was 25-1, 15-1, I don't know. But who else?
Syndergaard 42, no. Yeah, everything else is kind of trash. What about the NL Cy Young? I mean,
Framber Valdez is always 70-1. We talked about his fly ball. His 6.9% fly ball rate is just insane. It's
absolutely wild.
Just amazing. It's just a ground ball machine.
Not
a lot of it's not amazing everything else, but that's his one skill is very, very good.
Yeah, NL Cy Young. I mean, Burns and Scherzer are the odds-on favorite. Rodon a little bit behind. I'm trying to find someone that could come out. I mean, Nola, I think, still at 35-1. Logan Webb at 35-1. I feel like off. Yeah, you don't like Logan Webb? I
mean, whatever. Kershaw, no, like he's no chance because of the injuries. Like they're going to baby him, even if he's healthy. Like there's some of these bets just not happening. That's not happening. I think I saw DeGrom in there. Like that's not happening. Like who else would be? Alcantara's like not crazy at 30-1 because like he's been very good. Obviously, he's just a good pitcher. Rodon, I don't mind at 9-1. Scherzer got hurt yesterday. I don't know how severe it was.
Darvish at 81, probably not.
No, he's been horrendous this year.
Yeah,
like by his standards.
Urias 45-1, probably not.
Who could sneak in here?
I don't know. Let's look at MVP stuff. I don't see him.
Steven Strasburg, like what? Come on, but that's just like What are we doing? That's like when they put like, they have like president odds, like next president's going to be Kanye.
Like, The Rock, Oprah.
Yeah.
Still good odds on them.
Like you just throw money away because you recognize that person's name. Yeah. Strasburg's he's not winning the Cy Young. It's not happening.
Let's see. NL MVP. The guy that immediately stands out to me is Matt Olson at 41, but
it's gonna get hot in Atlanta. Like they call this
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Olson is sitting at a 132 WRC plus, which is actually worse than he did last year playing in Oakland. He only has 4 home runs. This guy's a 40 home run guy easy. Like, he's going to heat up.
I actually like that one. I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good dart. I mean, all the Dodgers, maybe they split it, like Freeman, Betts, and Turner. Like, I don't know, does one clearly jump above the rest, or they kind of chop their votes?
Dozier home run.
Yeah, it turns out it's hot in Kansas City, and the ballpark is conducive to homers today.
Jordan Montgomery got pulled.
Oh, did he? I'm sorry.
Mr. Chevelson, you're fudging me.
I didn't look. We knew going in that his pitch count is very fickle.
You're very fickle. Got you good.
I mean, Castellanos 55-1, especially if Harper 10-1, but I'm just concerned with his injury.
He's probably not going to throw or play enough games.
Who's that?
Crone at 50-1. He's got 10 bombs, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's in the Rockies, and typically in baseball they give it to somebody that's on a winning team.
Yeah.
So, there's also going to be he'll be graded on a negative curve, I guess, because he's playing in Colorado.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not happening.
The Rockies aren't that far out of the playoff. Like, with the playoffs being so big, I mean, his WRC plus is 158. Like, that's weighted with ballpark.
Yeah, that's good. I like the Olsen one. I don't. Maybe both these Mets. I just hate that ballpark, and it's gonna be more drastic the more they get into the summer summer moments where their ballpark's gonna still stink, and other ballparks are all gonna get better. It's it's like a bottom 5 ballpark in baseball. Alonzo the Polar Bear can hit him out anywhere, obviously.
Yeah,
but I think they're both interesting at 22 and 25. Big market, but I think Olsen, Lindor, and Alonzo are pretty good. Tatis is just not going to come back in time, right? Why am I going to bet on him?
Yeah.
What's that?
Funny thing is, AL MVP, you know who the 2 favorites are?
Ohtani.
And?
Trout?
Yeah. So both the favorites. Plus 250 on Ohtani. Plus 500 on Trout. Massive fit. The interesting one.
Go ahead.
Buxton, plus 1,500.
So here's the thing with Buxton. He's awesome, but we know about his injury history, but Minnesota's leaving him out. He's not playing games when he's healthy. He's they're sitting him down in anticipation of he might get hurt, and it's he's not playing every day.
Yeah, 182 WRC plus.
Hold on, why Yordan Alvarez is 32-1?
Yeah, I think that's a solid. I mean, he doesn't. They rarely give it to a DH.
Are they going to hit him for that? It's funny. I was talking today about that, and Chop is a Houston fan, and he was saying we were talking about Framber Valdez, and he's like, yeah. Whenever Valdez plays, they're actually willing to put Alvarez in the outfield because no balls go to the outfield. Because if there's not going to be 5 balls hit out there, it might as well be you or me standing out there. Who cares?
Yeah. Looking at other long shots, Jose Abreu, 125
David Ortiz though. Ortiz has won it as a DH, right?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure David Ortiz is one. They don't get hit as much, I don't think, especially now universal DH. 32-1 on Yordan Alvarez. He's a top 5 hitter in the league. That's just I think that's a fact, right?
David Ortiz, did he win? Or
I feel like he won an MVP, maybe a World Series MVP or some kind of MVP.
Yeah, he did. He never. I think the best he got was second, and he also he got second and third with 47 and 54 home runs. So you have to be that much better than everyone else. I
mean, Yordan is really, really good. 32-1 is just that's pretty appealing to me.
Yeah, I don't hate that. He's so good.
What are your thoughts on Buxton? Again, he's awesome, but I just don't know how does he play 145 games?
I hope so. But the main thing is he's already got a decent lead on everyone. in terms of how well he's hitting. Like he's just incredible right now.
By the way, Judge is in between. At least I'm looking at the FanDuel Sportsbook. You probably have DK or something else. I got Judge at 450. He was leading the league.
Yeah.
He's leading the league in homers. He's leading the league in like if you the Statcast stuff. He's leading the league in barrels per plate appearance, exit velocity, hard hit.
Horford's playing, by the way. So
who is
Horford? So
yeah,
crushes.
That.
At least one of my
What's the
bets.
line? Did it move to like 2 or 2.5? Or it's not still 4, is it?
Still sitting at. They just closed it. It was sitting at 3. So I'm loving my Boston plus 140 bet.
I think that was a great bet. And again, I'm fully rooting for Miami. I'm a Heat fan, but like they're kind of a coin toss. Like whatever, home court is a thing, I guess. Sure, but that number is too good. Plus 140.
Yeah,
and you probably can find a spot if you wanted to. If you're watching the game tonight, pretty good chance you can find a spot where you can maybe middle it or get yourself an arbitrage situation.
I'm not going to. I'm just gonna let it ride.
Okay, but like, is that something you just wouldn't want to do because that's that, or just it's not doesn't appeal to you?
I mean, if it's a bad line on the other side, like if they put Miami at plus 100, yeah, I'd hammer it. But
yeah, I'm saying if you watch the game live and you have all the books open, you probably can find one, maybe.
I mean, if I live bet, you know me, I'm going to be hammering both sides the entire time. Just anytime there's a bad line, there's so much movement that you've seen me bet.
Max Scherzer got an oblique strain out 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know if you watched the game yesterday, but Scherzer's the guy that never gives up the ball. He's like, he will snarl at you if you ask him to give him the ball before like the 7th inning or so. And he threw a pitch, and he went to the dugout. And he's like, yeah, I'm out. Like he just the cut throat thing. Like I'm done. That's it. So like you knew it was gonna be something serious. Obviously, don't bet him for Cy Young.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. We've been on here long enough. We're now have to pee.
Yeah, we didn't do. I feel it's been a while since I've been on the show. Thanks for having me back. I know you've been traveling around and you've had all sorts of I guess for different reasons, I suppose. But I feel like I haven't watched a terrible movie in a while, and I'm like, why haven't I watched terrible? Oh, that's right, because I haven't been on Grant's show in a bit. So
let's see. You want to take? We'll do straight up. You take the Miami Heat.
I mean, insult to injury, right? I mean, sure, I guess. Why not?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't remember which one of us lost the last bet. So
I don't remember either. But I still owe you Aladdin. That's actually on me. I gotta watch Aladdin.
Yeah, for like the last.
And I don't have my choice of the Aladdin. I got to choose the old school Rob Williams, not the new school Will Smith.
You got it. It's also shorter. What movie should I make you watch? Trying to think. What's a good one I've seen lately?
I'm nervous when you start doing this.
I'm gonna pull up Netflix.
Like the movies you've watched?
Yeah. Well, I'm just seeing what's. I have to sign in.
What was that movie you were telling me the other day that Britney runs a marathon? You like that?
Oh yeah, I'll give you that one.
I'd watch that. It's an Amazon original. It's probably pretty good.
It's solid.
I've been on my kick of like some Spanish movies on Netflix. I've seen several really really good ones. The Occupant I think is my favorite one recently.
That the one you want to give me?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm telling you, and it's dubbed. It's well dubbed. If you don't have to read if you don't want to read. Do you understand? Are you fluent in Spanish? I don't believe you are.
No, I do know no in Spanish. Occupant only 46 from the audience, but also watch it.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What do the critics give it?
61.
Interesting. I mean, there's a better one I can give you, but I'll give you that one for now. But there's one. What's the one? Something wasn't there. The person wasn't. I can't remember the name.
When I was going up the stairs, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, I wish he'd go away.
Is this a poem I'm not aware of?
I believe so. It's from. Have you ever seen Identity?
Yeah. They all have the same birthday.
No.
The movie Identity.
Do they all have the same birthday?
Yeah, that's part of one of the things. Like they all find out. I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but not really. But like yeah. When's your birthday? It's who's the lead in that movie? It's kind of an ensemble.
John Cusack.
That's who it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got Ray Liotta. It's got I can't remember his name. Harry Cox, John C. McGinley.
Harry Cox. Who's Harry Cox?
Harry Cox from Scrubs. That was his name. That's John C. McGinley's name in Scrubs.
Amanda Peet. She's delightful.
Yeah, she's married to the main guy in Game of Thrones, the guy that created it.
Yes. Yeah.
Gary Busey's son? I didn't realize that was Gary Busey's son.
Gary Busey's son's. Oh, yeah, he's in it too.
Yeah, what else is he
Jake
in?
Busey.
Yeah, is he Super Troopers, I want to say?
No,
Starship Troopers, that was it.
He might be in Starship Troopers.
He is absolutely in Starship Troopers.
You're a Starship Troopers fan, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, I feel like I need to see it again. I haven't seen it in a long, long time, and I feel like it was ahead of its time with that movie. Like it was a futuristic movie, and I wonder if it holds up 25 years later.
Super Troopers?
No, Starship Troopers.
It doesn't, but I love it. I love that movie.
Well, yeah, I feel like I can revisit it one of these days.
Now
we're just like talking like we're talking on the phone. We're still people are still listening.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're gonna get out of here, Dean. Thanks for joining me. Good luck on your bets tonight. We're out of here.